Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are actually ready to use a hoist. I used it yesterday. I got the bleeder screw that I was missing the other day. As you can see here, it's all good. Tested the hoist, everything works. So we are going to replace the starter today. This guy here that I showed you in the previous video. Also, we are replacing the engine oil and the filter. So I'm going to jack up the car right now, and here we have the 5W20 synthetic filter. So let's jack up the vehicle. So before I jack up the vehicle, I'm actually going to loosen the cap oil and take off or just loosen the filter a little bit, that way it can be ready. So let's do that. I'm just going to loosen the cap so that when the car is in the air, I don't have to bring it down again and just open and bring it back up. That is open. The filter is right there. If you can see it, let me show you the filter. So the filter is right there. It's in a very tight spot. I usually always end up piercing the can with a flat screwdriver and just twisting it because it's very hard to take off. Actually, it's not very bad. Alright, we have the vehicle in the air. I mean, eventually I'm going to take off the motor for the garage, and that way I can get another, I don't know, probably half of this, so I could use the hoist to its maximum height, which is, I believe, 8 feet. I mean, for now this is more than enough. So let's go down and see what we have. Alrighty, so we have the drain plug right there. You want to make sure you have some sort of oil pan. So let's see what number that is. Let's try 17 here. Nope. Try 18. No, probably a 19. There we go. That's a 19. I usually like doing oil changes when the oil's hot, so I actually drove the car for 30 minutes before this. That way, I know that there's any contaminants or dirt. It's probably out by now. As this guy's draining, let's change the starter on this car. The starter is right here. Seems like there's a connector here. What is that? Oh, this is bad, it's corroded. The only reason I'm changing it is because the other day, it was actually a month ago, the car wouldn't crank. So what I did is I smacked the starter a couple of times and it's been working, but I don't want to keep doing that, so I'm just going to go ahead and replace the starter. That way I know in the future it's not going to happen. And also the new starter that I have is the upgraded version with the 13 tooth. This is the old version, I believe. I think it has 11. And this one is lower cranking speed, whereas the new one is much faster. Oops, that one's away, that's fine. So I guess this is a negative. Comes here. Usually I have this other ratchet that is long. That way I get a little bit of a breaker bar into it. The longer, the easier to open or break nuts, bolts. So it seems like there's a nut from behind it that's holding it. There it is. So 14 back, 14 front, and that should do the trick. Alright. So it was a long bolt with a nut behind it. I didn't know until it was spinning loose, and I figured there was something wrong. Anyways, so that is the old starter there. Pretty bad condition. And let's get the new starter, which is right there. New, old. That is the new guy. That is old. Well, let's swap it back in. This bolt goes here. And then the nuts from the back. Hold it in there. So 14 millimeter at the back, holding the nut, and 14 millimeter at the front bolt. There it is. It's starting to get tight. That is one. Take the bottom one. I don't know what's the torque on this, to be honest. I just like torquing it with my hand until it feels tight, and that's when I stop. That goes right. Oh shit. That's why it's always good to disconnect the battery when you're working on cars. Just tighten this guy. Make sure it's tight. Oh shit. Alright. Look at that. That's the case. We use a squiggly. Plug in the wire. And you are good. Since we have the car down, I'm going to go ahead and take off the filter. Here it is. Get that in there. It's always good to lube up the seal. Here I have my dirty oil. I'm just going to use up to seal. Here, just like that, so it doesn't break the rubber. Go back in. This want to make sure you hand tighten this. That is good. Alright, I'm going to stop here and check the stick. Make sure I'm not overfilling. So we wrapped up everything, topped off the oil, filled some washer fluid, filter changed, new starter replaced, and it is time to test the vehicle right now. Let's see how fast it's gonna start. Let's give it a try. Yeah. That's pretty quick. That's a huge difference compared to what I had before.